Hi, I thought I would share another dream that I had. Seems like a fitting introduction because it's like the last thing that happens in my sleep before I wake up, and I seem to carry the dream with me all day. So the dream was the guy that robbed me, my old best friend, who climbed in the window while I was at tea in the park in Tanmouth and stole like a grand's worth of crap and all my drugs. Jesus. Yeah, I had a dream that I ran into him, and I wouldn't. We didn't talk about what happened. We just talked like old friends, just happy to be in each other's company again. And as we walked through the sad little town through the alleyways, I know there was a baseball bat in the gutter, and I picked it up and I examined it, and it was my baseball bat. And I was amazed. I was like, how the heck did this get here? And I turned run to show him the baseball bat, and he'd disappeared. Yeah, I could read a lot into it. But what it does reveal is that event is still in my mind. Yeah, so I carry it with me. It affects a lot of things. I thought I'd dealt with it. I mean, could you ever deal with that? I mean, what I'm doing right now is just dealing with it all these years later. Yeah, it made me think a bit. Yeah, my behaviour, my trauma, being attracted to his badness, the ignoring all the warning signs, the ignoring everybody that literally with their voices warned me that this was bad news and it was going to happen. I ignored all the pre-robbery events that happened. And then I just marched headlong into the calamitous event. So yeah, it made me think about justice. Like he probably never faced justice for that event, despite my efforts to track him down and the other boys that I hung about with his attempts to track him down. Yeah, he never faced justice. But like in a year and a half later, I read about him in the front page of the Sun because he'd got stabbed because he'd been shagging some older lady neighbour, and then the husband and the son of the neighbour had barged into the house and like stabbed the crap out of him. I did I admit, man, I took pleasure in that. I was like, fucking yes. But at the same time, the consequences of my stupidity, my bad decisions, if it was even decisions, just the outcome in my path and his, me getting robbed, that vindicated everybody that tried to warn me, and I just ignored, or I chose him over them. And I'm sure that they got a similar surge of righteous vindication upon hearing that I'd been fucked over by this guy. So yeah, it's just like made me think about consequences. Yeah. And addictive thinking, because after the event I thought addictively, compulsively, like my silly little ADD brain. Oh, I couldn't let it go. Just kept going, living it over, fantasising about what I'd do if I got my mitts on him. But I wasn't the one to dish the justice. He did that to himself. And yeah, you like to believe in karma and all that, but you see plenty of people getting away with horrific things, and that's just one thing. That I got consequences. They bite me real bad, but that's just one event. There are many other things that I did that there weren't consequences to. Yeah. So you just choose. You choose to see you choose to see them. Yeah, just the delusion, seeing what I see, acknowledge what reinforces what we already believe. And that is just something that I thought I'd share in for my wee intro to the video, because it weighed on me. I couldn't shake it. I knew something had happened to me in my sleep, The fact that I'd bounded out of bed and got dressed before I even really knew I was awake. Like, I jumped out the dream and went, hell no. And then, so I just ran into the day. Like, no, too much. It's too painful after all these years. That person that robbed me, and the situation around that, the trauma that attracted the badness that attracted the trauma. There is another horrific event that was a consequence of things, of behaviours that probably weren't even you couldn't even call them choices, but it was like just the inevitability of fate. And enough time's elapsed, and I don't believe that I'd be doing the person any disrespect by talking honestly about them. But yes, now that I look back, like, this person she even looked like in the eyes, she had the eyes of the person that had robbed me, and I found her on an online dating app where there was obviously a spark, because the trauma attracted the damage, which attracted the badness. And then these consequences of that were, well, it's good and bad, wasn't there? Because on one hand I got my son, and on the other hand, the illusion of what I thought we had and we were, what she was and I was, it shattered. And it shattered in the most horrific way. In a way that stood to damage the child involved, who's the innocent party, whose future hadn't been written. It stood to become utter chaos, and thankfully it didn't. We spared the child. But there has been obviously emotional fallout from that has affected my ability to parent effectively, to single parent. It's never going to be easy. Upon her passing, there was the illusion had shattered. The love that I felt, I saw it for what it was. The love I thought I felt, I don't even know what love is. But what I thought we had, it all crumbled in front of my very eyes. So when the terrible, inevitable consequences for her happened, I was sad for my boy. I wept for my boy. I wept for the shattering of the illusion. I wept for my foolishness, for my inability to see what everybody else could see. But there was another feeling, and it was an equal part. It was relief. So for all, I was in shock, I was devastated. There was a feeling of relief, like she couldn't harm anymore or be harmed anymore. In the closing of the book, we all became safe. And in the closing of the book, the writing that was being scribed into my 1-year-old's book, that was being written by the behaviour and the consequences, and it was erased, and the boy's future became open and set less in in horrible, traumatic, messed up, grown up stone. Because like the boy was born, the event happened, and then COVID happened, and then alcohol happened through therapy. Thank you to the third sector, to these council adjacent help, like Ad Action, I think it was called, back then. Yeah, thanks to them, they with their help, I got a grip on the alcohol, overcame the alcohol. I tried. That's how I ended up on the sertraline, because I tried the Prozac, but my psyche was so traumatized that the dreams, I don't know, that like the doctor, when I told him about the nightmares that I'd been having, the doctor said, "Oh, I've heard of that once before." But yeah, I think my psyche was just so shredded, in a bad way, that it gave me the most vivid, evil dreams that you could imagine. Like, I'm the villain in the dreams, I'm the torturer, I'm the molester, I'm the murderer. Like, it wasn't a fear of consequences, it was I was evil. I was the evil centre at every single dream, and it was absolute torture. Every night, sweating, waking up terrified. Like, I'd wake up every morning and be like, these dreams cannot be coming from inside my head. This is pure evil. Like beyond nightmare. It's beyond nightmares. Like I was creating. My brain was just so disturbed that then you added the Prozac in, and it gave me the most vivid, evil dreams. Imagine, it was beyond imagining. I would wake up and I'd feel terrible guilt about what I'd done in my dreams. I had to do nightmarish things to protect myself and to protect the boy. I had to relinquish any hope of helping her because she was too dangerous to be around. Physically, emotionally, everything. Behavioural, everything. She was just absolutely out of control, dangerous. And I got independent legal advice, which probably saved. What the independent legal advice was, it was a third party that I couldn't argue with, who worked for me, who was absolutely 100% looking out for my best interest, the boy's best interest. And that was a key thing, that angelic protector that my brother provided. As soon as he heard about the situation, he's like, "I've employed this kick-ass lawyer, do exactly what she says." And I did. And then she made hard decisions for me and protected me for the guilt. She protected me from myself. She protected my son from me and his mother. Just to tie up, I think I need to talk about it further in a more structured way, but just to tie up the surmising of the story. Yeah, she never understood the what, the where, the why, because she'd been a secret alcoholic. And all the clues were there, and Bozo here was completely blind to it all. So it was a repeat. It was just a repeat of my tragic relationship with the fellow that robbed me. If we don't recognise these patterns, we're doomed to repeat. I don't feel like I've cleared this. You know, often after my wee videos, I feel like I've gotten something off my chest, but with this subject, I think I've only just opened the door to the subject. So I don't feel any sort of conclusion right now. So, and in further videos, I'm going to muse on it, and I'm going to try and examine it further, the situation, the cyclical nature, the behaviour patterns. Not to scare people. Not even to warn them, because what's the point? I was locked in these behaviours, like she was locked into it, and they're right up till the end. And I was incapable of seeing the pattern of my behaviour, right up until her terrible end. I'm sorry we haven't come to a conclusion. It feels like this is the introduction, and the conclusion's going to come further along. But thank you if you've listened thus far. I'm going to try and deal with the subject as discreetly and respectfully as I can, but while doing duty to honesty and integrity, and in the name of recognising these patterns, the tragic outcomes, and just logging it, because I hate the posthumous sainting of people. I hate the wanting to accept a soft lie over a hard truth, because who does that benefit? It is kicking the can down the road. It is no passing on valuable lessons and knowledge and experiences for somebody that's been through. Yeah, I've seen things. We owe it to the children, to the future of our nation, to speak frankly and openly and honestly. It's 7 years has passed. I love you all. Peace.